Hi, I'm Aeon. This is a video. Before we start today's video, I do want to remind you guys that this is all opinion and this is all discussion made with Twitch chat. If your favorite level is not as high as you would like it to be, I'm terribly sorry. There's not much I can do about it. Tell me in the comments what you guys think are your top 10, and I will be sure to read and maybe make some comments about it. This is all done in good fun. Don't get too riled up about it. If you do not agree with me, it's completely fine. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would truly appreciate it. I'll see you guys around. Eat your green, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Have a good one, everyone. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're gonna do the dumbest idea of all time, because we're gonna be making every single person ever mad. It's not gonna be a tier list. I would do a tier list, but I want it like in a bullet point list from best to worst. We're ranking the top 150 extreme demons, or the top 150 demons list from best to worst. So Tartarus is number 1 currently, but on our list, Tartarus could be like 100. I'm biased as hell, so like a lot of them are gonna be like my favorites. So like number 1 is, if you know me, you know what's gonna be. But we're gonna be choosing a lot of them together as a chat because democracy. Yes, love democracy. So I have my ghetto ass setup right here. We have a list here of like stuff like this, where we can go like 1, like so, and we have a list. So if I go here, oh shit, 1, like so. If you type like level, like so, and we do that. Number 2, cool. So we're gonna choose them together. It's gonna be awesome. So I hope you guys are enjoying my cool little setup here. We're gonna be scrolling through, we're gonna be doing them, we're gonna be choosing, and we're gonna see what the best levels are and then the worst levels are. We're gonna choose together. Bottom to top. All right, let me just make 150 of these first. So how are you guys doing today? Your day going fine? We have 150 of them. Now we can start filling it in. Let's go. Okay, so 150 and 149. I'm gonna have the executive decision on. You guys have no say in this because it's my list. 150, Sonic Wave. 149, Distraught. Anyway, let's discuss the other ones. What should be 148? What's a democracy? What is a democracy? I do not know what a democracy is. This is my list. Sonic Wave is worse. Distraught is second worst. Nah, Base Cave is not that bad. Come on, dude. Base Cave is awesome. Base Cave and Necromancer are cool levels. I don't care. They're not gonna go, like, almost last. Actually, okay, so realistically speaking, logically speaking, okay, 148 should be, like, Sonic Wave Rebirth, 147 should be, like, Sonic Wave Infinity, 146 should be Generic Wave, 145 should be Auditory Breaker. Let's be real, that makes complete sense. Not gonna lie, Auditory Breaker and Generic Wave are kinda good. They're not good levels, like, gameplay-wise, but they look kind of fire. Sonic Wave just looks poop, so they're not gonna go there. They're not gonna go there. Sonic Wave Rebirth hasn't really aged that well, but I'm not inclined to put it like that low. Let's scroll through the list a little bit. Let's scroll through the list and just be like, oh, that's a shit level. Stygian Machinery. That's a level that no one remembers. Like, this level is supposed to be good. It's just that no one ever beat it. There's 3 victors of it. I got this for like 15 on the Demon Roulette though, and it was awful. So I think this objectively has to go low on the list, 148, because, and hear me out, this was the demon of the month for the demons list, where they were going to shout out the first person to beat it. Not a single person beat this level after the demon list asked it and put out a shout out potential for it. Nobody beat it. Literally no one. Just for that alone, Stygian Machinery. There we go. It can't be good if that's the case, bro. It literally can't. You can't tell me otherwise. I've seen a lot of people say Demonic Cat. Do we do Demonic Cat? Skycrab is gonna hate me for it. I'm inclined to do a Demonic Cat if you guys are like, oh, Demonic Cat is poop. Demonic Cat sucks, dude. We can do Demonic Cat at 147. I'm completely fine with that. See, Demonic Cat could have been good, but there's one thing in it that just bleh, you know? Have you guys ever seen someone actually be like, yeah, that Galactic Shift, that's a thumbs up from me, bro. That's a good level. No, I don't think you have. I'm gonna be kind to Skycrab here. I know he's a Demonic Cat fan. I would be inclined to think Galactic Shift is worse than Demonic Cat personally. It has a little bit of charm to it. I'm gonna I have to admit, but man, that's a level. Galactic Shift. There we go. That's a good number, 146 right there. Yeah, we're just gonna the hell world. Honestly, we could just leave it at the hell. ... Low def is not that bad. Why are people saying low def? Or why is one person saying low death, rather? The Hellfield is so fun. I refuse to believe the Hellfield is that fun, dude. Yeah, Promethean is not good, but is Promethean, like, bottom of the barrel worst levels on the list? I don't care what any of you guys say, the hell levels all go bashing into one place. There's no way Breakout Redux is not bottom 10 worst levels. Yeah, even Tony says Breakout Redux is terrible. Breakout Redux. There we go. Breakout Redux goes 141. I'm all game for that. Choosing the bottom 10 is kind of hard, not gonna lie. Kind of want to say Glowy, just because I don't like Glowy. I was thinking Surge of Memories could be one. Surge of Memories is not that good. Oh, right, I forgot. The Sonic Waves. We can realistically just slap Sonic Wave Rebirth on there, because everyone, I feel like I've not seen a single person who's like, yeah, Sonic Wave Rebirth looks good. Pretty much every single person I've ever seen says Sonic Wave Rebirth has aged horribly. I think Sonic Wave Rebirth is a fair one to put. Sonic Wave Rebirth, like so. Facial Rend as well is another one that can go very low, I think. See, okay, so as much as I dislike a lot of the like top levels, none of them really look bad. None of them really look bad. Like the only level in like the top 30 or so that I can say like actively looks terrible is stuff like Thinking Space. Akashic I don't think looks good. I think Akashic aged horribly. Yeah, those are the only ones that look like genuinely horrible. SNC gets funny points. SNC gets funny points. I like SNC. SNC is a great level. Spatial Rend has potential for going very low. I think Surge of Memories is not that good though. This is a very old level though. Keep in mind, this is like very old. This is a KevTom verification. If it's verified by KevTom, you know it's an old ass level. I'm inclined to say Surge of Memory should go like really low. Level is kind of gross. What is that hand? What is that hand, bro? The brain, dude. The brain. Yeah, I'm pretty confident putting Surge of Memories here. Of Memories. I think it's better than Sonic Wave Rebirth and Breakout Redux, though. I'm seeing a lot of B times 20, but I wouldn't say B times 20 is this low, though. I feel like for this low, like this one, I think Spatial Rend or Step to Hell should go here, because they're really not that good. Spatial Rend is aged like fine milk. Spatial Rend is just the milk of Geometry Dash. Like, you cannot tell me that Spatial Rend is not just like milk. I'm fine with putting Step to Hell over or below Spatial Rend, but I don't think Spatial Rend should go further. What kind of milk? 5-month-old milk. Spatial Rend. Like so. Are you guys happy with that? Is that what we're doing? Solarion, I'm so confused about though. Solarion is weird to me because Sephirox is a fantastic creator. This is just really poorly aged. I just don't think that Solarion has aged very well, like at all. Like, it's just way worse. Blade of Justice. We can play Solarion. I don't like Solarion. I think it's aged very poorly. I'm gonna go here. Missing Benefit is just there, in my opinion. Not really a big fan of it. I think the next one should either be like Fabrication, Glowy, or Infernal Abyss, probably. I think a lot of Infernal. We can do Infernal. I would argue out of the top, Sonic Wave Infinity is probably the worst one. Plus everyone that I've talked to thinks Sonic Wave Infinity plays ass. I'm willing to take the executive decision here that Sonic Wave Infinity, like so. Is it time to place B times 20? I feel like it's time to place B times 20. B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. It's meant to be bad, but that doesn't mean it's good. There's a difference between good bad and bad bad. I think Betrayal of Destiny is probably next in line. Yeah. Betrayal of Destiny is just not good. But the thing is, Sipix, the reason why I think Betrayal of Destiny should be this low is because while it doesn't look bad, it's still worse than the original. And the fact that it's worse than the original says a lot. Betrayal of Destiny, I'm gonna put there. No. I refuse to put Icaros over Betrayal of Destiny. Icaros is just not good. Plus, okay, so, hot take. Icaros is entirely ruined by the song. Icaros just demolished by the song. It's so bad. Akashic Records goes low because Akashic is not good. What do you guys think is worse of those? If you have to choose Kinetic Bypass, Furious Flames, Glowy, Fabrication, Photovoltaic 2, or Devil Vortex, which is the worst one? I'm seeing a decent amount of Devil Vortex and Kinetic Bypasses. Let's pick between Devil Vortex and Kinetic then. Devil Vortex or Kinetic Bypass, which is worse? Kinetic Bypass. Devil Vortex like so. I think Glowy goes next personally, and Fabrication. Glowy and Fabrication are the next ones in my opinion. Like so, Fabrication then Glowy. I have a kind of massive hate boner for Ya, and half of it is because Moosh verified it. See, okay, my biggest issue with Ya as a whole is the fact that it looks like every other Elfers level. If it wasn't for the fact that it looks exactly like in Rainbows, it wouldn't have been that bad. But there's absolutely zero personality and character to the level because it looked like every other level he ever made. So while I don't think it visually is a terrible level, it's just so soulless. I think Ya goes here in like the bottom 30. And then we can do Photovoltaic 2. I feel like Photovoltaic 2 is like the next like poopy garbage tier. Okay, but Audio Explosion gets good points because the song is so good. Like, you cannot deny the fact that Audio Explosion does not have a fire song. I think Photovoltaic 2 is probably the next one. I think it's criminal to not have Thinking Space in the bottom 30. So Thinking Space is gonna go here, I think. Because Thinking Space is not like, it's bad, don't get me wrong, but it also gets like funny points for being like the dumbest level on the list. Furious Flames, which is a shame. I kind of like it. I like it in like a weird way. I've been holding back on a Thanatos. I've been holding back on it hard, but we're out of the bottom 30. I think a Thanatos is fair. Like, we've put 30 other levels above a Thanatos. The fact that I give it a 7 is one of my least favorite levels ever. It's one of my few F-tier extreme demons. The fact that I hold back on it so long is a miracle. We are getting into the region of levels now where we have to like start making some tough decisions, honestly. Yeah, I think Hyper Paracosm is probably next. Sorry, Skycrab. I'm terribly sorry. Hyper Paracosm is now gone. Genuine question, how many people like Hate right here? To me personally, Hatred is like very mid. I think Hatred is like a very mid-tier level. It's not bad, but it's not good. I think Hatred is probably next, yeah. Hatred next makes complete sense. Mirrored Calamity we could discuss. Mirrored Calamity is a funny one. Mostly because 3 people have beaten it. I think Mirrored Calamity could probably go next. Mirrored Calamity just does not look that good. And then we have coming up the absurd, stupidly impossible wave for some reason. Yeah, what the f is that wave, dude? What the hell was that? I'm not gonna listen to anyone's opinion. We're just Draga mode like so. I think FRX and Singularity probably next. Factory Realm X Singularity like so. They're just not that good. Now we're starting to get into the realm of like, it's hard to actually choose shit. I feel like. While I think Sinister Incision has good gameplay, I also think it doesn't justify Night Terrors. I think Night Terrors is way better, like visually speaking as well. And I think that does take it down a few notches. I think if Sinister Incision was better visually than Night Terrors, it would get a few extra points. But it's just worse Night Terrors. I'm gonna put Sinister Incision. I think it's just worse Night Terrors. And as a remake, it doesn't justify it. I can agree it's probably Roy's best level, which means Rate Demon is probably next. Rate Demon is probably like next, yeah. Now I think about it. Like, Rate Demon has been like looming around for a while now. Rate Demon is just not that great. I think Rate Demon goes next. Generic Wave, as much as I think Generic Wave gets funny points, Generic Wave goes next. I think it's better than Ray Demon for sure. I disagree, Sippy. I think Ray Demon looks better personally. It plays... the little I've played of Singularity, I don't really like it. Ray Demon is okay to play. Necro? Alright, we can do Necromancer. And then after Necro, we can do Crimson. Because Crimson Planet, in all fairness, is just not good, like, at all. I think Hyper Paradox goes next. I know some people like it, but as like a 9 circles, it's not that good, personally. Not that big of a fan of it. Honestly, next is probably Promethean and then Gamma. I think Gamma is better than Promethean, personally. Promethean, like so. Then Gamma. Next is probably Asterios. I feel like Asterios is probably next. You guys are not being much help, so I'm just gonna put Asterios. Because none of you guys are saying anything about it. I'm gonna be real with you. I think probably Low Death has to go next. As much as I like Low Death, I can't see it placed lower than those. We're getting like into mid territory now where levels are like mediocre at most. Zeroy Copy and then Zeroy Copy. They're about this. I feel like they're very interchangeable. Zeroy is much better. They're both Zeroy! Bro! If people think Copy is much better, then I can do that. I would say out of the ones that we have here, but TD3 is probably the worst one. In my opinion, Lucid Nightmares. Lucid Nightmares is not bad. I just think the gameplay pushes it down hard. Like, these are just, like, mid-tier levels. They're not terrible. They're not great. Out of these, I think Dark Flare is probably the worst one visually. Then Rupture, then Sephiroth, then Titan Complex. Dark Flare, the Rupture, Sephiroth, then Titan Complex, like so. Now we're done with all of those. Now we're getting into, like, mid-tier levels. What do you guys think are, like, some mid-tier levels? Like, not great, not bad. I think Karkano goes here. Fine, I will succumb. I will succumb to it. I will succumb to your guys' everything. I love Base K for every wrong reason, but I will put it here. Auditory Breaker is arguably next, in my opinion. Out of the ones we have left. I think Auditory goes next, yeah. Auditory Breaker, like so. I'm gonna throw shade, okay? I'm gonna throw hard shade. I think the Golden goes next. I think the Golden is worse than Tartarus. I'm sorry. The Golden. I don't care. Screw you. Celestial Force probably next. Celestial Force isn't bad. It's just a very mediocre level. It's very forgettable. It has the funny duels. I think Celestial Force goes next. Celestial Force. There we go. Paroxysm isn't terrible. None of these are actually terrible. I'm gonna be real. As much as I hate to say it, Mujigae is probably next. Cause like, even though Mujigae is like a funny, it's just a 9 circles level. Like Mujigae is not terrible by any means, but it's just a 9 circles level. It's just the, haha, it's the gay 9 circles level. It's awesome, right? But it's just a 9 circles level. Mujigae, like so. There we go. It's a sequel to Paroxysm, and Paroxysm is just better. I think Anoxysm is probably next, honestly. Yeah, let's do Anoxysm. Anoxysm. Like so. I've seen a lot of hate towards Fragile. I kind of agree. I think Covaretta is better than Fragile, personally. Realistically, we should probably put Covaretta as well, like right next to it. But I think Covaretta is like kind of way better, personally. Aesthetic. Aesthetic is a funny one. Because to me, Aesthetic gets bonus points for having a really solid song. I like the song in Aesthetic a lot. I think the song is very, very good. I think Aesthetic at 87 makes sense. I forget how Sigma looks. Let's take a look at Sigma. Because Gamma and Omega are so much lower. Haha, young tech. Baby tech. Lol. What the fuck did he just do? Hello, did you guys see that? What is this, dude? What is that? Hello? I think Sigma goes next. Sigma is just very mid. Everyone is like, Calcor. Okay. Fine, you happy? Calcor, there we go. I think we can go Dolos. I think Covaretta goes there. As much as I hate to admit it, Covaretta isn't too bad. But it's not great. Because everyone can't shut up about Shockbreaker, I think Shockbreaker goes next. Delta Interface is the same. I think Delta Interface is fine, it's just really boring. What is this method of ranking? Ask chat and be like, yeah, it's whatever. We can put it there. There is absolutely no reason, rhyme or reason to this method of ranking. See, as much as I hate DD, because I genuinely dislike DD a lot, DD is just, it doesn't look bad. Like, our Abstract Dark's part is good. I really like Galvatron's part. I really like Karma L's part. Vlak's part is phenomenal. Heinz's part is good. Like, I can't say that I dislike DD visually. It's just bad everywhere else. I think Edge of the Blade goes. Oh, on like a hard fire round here. We're gonna go Balangu Vortex like so. We're gonna go Quantum Processing because of garbage gameplay. I think Glitch Memories is probably next. Glitch Memories is not bad, but I don't think it's like amazing by any means. I think it has a neat concept though. I think the concept of Glitch Memories is probably the best part about it, even though some of the parts look pretty nasty, pretty gross. Audio Expulsion. Now we're into the good half. Like mid. I think the gameplay of DD definitely pulls it down a fuckload. Then I want to put Belloc. I don't like Belloc personally, but I know a lot of people do like it. That's why I've waited so long for it. Belloc I find very mediocre. Yeah, I think Belloc is next probably. I know a lot of people do like Belloc for the funny meme and ha-has, but I don't think Belloc is that high up. Honestly, probably Rag next. Like Rag has its moments. I think Rag is like decent. It's overall a fine level. It has some very poorly aged parts, but it has some sick parts as well. Sephiroth's and Rag is really good. But like speaking visually, I don't think it holds up against most of these. I have such a hard time judging the Reaper simply because the Reaper is like, it's not a bad level whatsoever. I know we're gonna watch the low detail right now, but just the Reaper just is so forgettable to me, dude. I think the Reaper goes next. I think it's a good level. It's just very forgettable. I want to do EXO next. I like EXO. I actually do think EXO is a good level. Like, a lot of the details in, like, the moving background stuff is good. But let's be real. EXO can't go much higher than, like, mid-tier. I think EXO can go there, yeah. Number 69! Do we pull the funny and do Silent Club, or do we actually put something reasonable? What do you guys think? Should we do the funny, and should we just actually put something, like, okay? Because I actually, personally... So, realistically speaking, I would say that Silent Club would probably go like 66, roughly. But I know that's just a me thing because I think Silent Club is just a good level. I like it. I think it's a cool concept of a level, and I think it has a lot of cool history. But, realistically speaking, it should probably go here. Even though it's for the funny for the most part, but you know. Oh, I wrote Silent Club stab, I'm stupid. I think Freedom 08 goes next. It's a good level, but there are certain parts of Freedom 08 that just really ruin it. For me personally, I think I'm gonna go Freedom 08 like so, and then next I want to do Bausha. I think Bausha fits here because Bausha is significantly better than Belengu in my personal opinion. I think I Hate You is slightly better than Bausha. I Hate You is a cool level. I really like it actually. I think it's a great level. Also, Kier fluked it. So why is like half of the people without a country on I Hate You? What is this? Why does more than half the victors of I Hate You just not have a country? I think I Hate You goes next. Macabre is probably next, or Zodiac to me. Macabre or Zodiac is probably the next one. Macabre is great. Visually, it's fantastic. Garbage gameplay. Zodiac, very mediocre. Macabre next. Macabre. Then I want to do Zodiac. Paroxysm, I like, but for all the wrong reasons. I think Paroxysm is probably Lemons' best level, if I'm being completely honest with you. Plus, it has the orange and blue part. It has the AeonAir part, so that means it's automatically much better. I think Paroxysm is Lemons' best, but Paroxysm can also just go here. Yeah, I think Erebus is the most natural next one. Erebus. Astral Divinity has individually some really sick parts. I just feel like some of it just doesn't fit. Like, the Persona 5 part just does not fit whatsoever in Astral, but that's me personally. I really have a hard time choosing between Deimos and Rage, though, as like a mid-tier level. Deimos has some really sick parts. I think Bold Steps part in this level is absolutely banger. It's really good. But then it has some of the more boring parts like that one. But this part right here, for instance, this part is sick. Rage is better. I can agree with that, yeah. I think Deimos and then Rage. Rage almost made it top 50. I think Rage is cool. If we go here and just check out Rage. Rage has, first and foremost, Rage has a really good song. I really like the song in Rage. But the thing that makes me like Rage a lot is just, I think Rage has some really cool concepts. Like, this part looks good. I think a lot of the parts in Rage look very, very good overall. But, like, the gameplay ideas that Rage pull out are really sick. Rage is like a good level. Like, I think Rage is like the beginning of the good levels for this list. Like, this wave right here, this wave is awesome. The bottom of good levels, I want to put OPSM 1 because I recognize that OPSM 1 is good, but personal bias. That's all. That is all. Zero Copy. I'm gonna play Zero Copy because it's very, very way higher than Zero Copy. Zero Copy is next for me. Then we can do Subsonic, yeah. I recognize Subsonic is like not top 50, but close to top 50. Now, as much as I think Super Probably level is a really good level, I have to realize that, I have to realize Super Probably level is not like the visually most amazingly amazing level of all time. I love this level, but can I justify it being top 50 best extreme demons on the list? I don't know, dude. Now let's go through the levels that are good, but not like amazing, okay? So we have to like start picking and choosing some wild ones. Let's check Tempered Steel. I don't remember too much about Tempered Steel personally. All I know is that Tempered Steel is supposedly like good. I think Tempered Steel has a good like theming to it. I can't really say much about the gameplay. It's supposedly pretty solid. It's supposedly pretty good. But Tempered Steel looks good. I think this is low detail though. I'm pretty sure this is low detail. But even then, I think the low detail it has some cool ideas. I think Tempered Steel is probably next. I'm just gonna put Tempered Steel, honestly. I'm gonna take executive decision. I don't think cognition is that good. I think cognition is probably gonna hop in next. Altered Ascent. I find them very equal. I like Altered Ascent, but it's also a worse version of a good level. Is cognition that high? I think the song carries it pretty hard. Like, I'm not a huge fan of cognition personally, but I recognize the fact that it's not a bad level. And honestly, I think Kinos probably takes the last one here. Kinos is not that good. Kinos has parts that are good and parts that are not good. But I also gotta recognize the fact that Kinos is fucking Sakupen hell. Now, into the top 50 we go. Number 50 for me personally would probably be 211. I think Catalyze goes first. I think Catalyze is like the first one. I think Catalyze is worse than Safkiel personally. But I don't think Catalyze is bad by any means. I kind of want to do Catalyze someday. Altered is probably next. I think Altered is better than Catalyze, but that's pretty much it. Molten Gear is not bad. I think Molten Gear is one of the better boss fight designs of like any level. I think the boss fight design for Molten Gear is pretty solid. I really like the robot dragon thingy. It's pretty sick. But like the rest of the level is pretty underwhelming. 211, like so. I think Arctic Lights is probably next. Arctic Lights is kind of underwhelming, but it's not a bad level. But like the free drop of Arctic looks pretty solid. Molten Core is not placed. I think Molten Core is by far the best Night Circus level. Like no questions asked. I think Arctic can go here, yeah. It's not bad, but it's also pretty barren. As you can see here, there's not a lot going on. Kind of like naked, but it's not bad. I think the colors are very nice. Let's be real. Taprock is probably next. A lot of people dislike Taprock. I like Taprock. Taprock is more like a personal, like, biased choice for where I want to put it. I think Taprock is sick, like, conceptually. I think the idea of it just being a clicky level is really cool. Next to me is probably going to be Stalemate Redux or Visible Ray. Or Zafkiel. Probably Zafkiel. Zafkiel is not much better than Catalyze. What do you guys think? What should be next? What's better than Zafkiel? Like, slightly better than Zafkiel. Maybe Stalemate Redux. SMR is good. SMR is very solid, but I can definitely see why people don't like it. I think the UFO part in SMR is, like, really good, though. Stalemate Redux. There we go. Stalemate Redux is there. Now, I think Vasereta or Visible Ray is probably next. What do you guys like more? Visible Ray or Vasereta? Which one do you like more? So which one do we place second? I see very split opinions. I see mostly Visible, though. Nah, now I see more Vasu. So we're gonna go Visible Ray, Vasereta, like so. I think, Aquatic Auroras should go there. Then the Yandere, probably. Maybe Auroral Darkness. I think Auroral Darkness is, like, getting on the line of, like, okay, now it's where it should go. I think it's top 40, like, on the fence of it. I disagree. I think Omega Interface has a lot more cool ideas. I think the ideas that Omega pull out are better than Aquatic. I think the ideas is what pushes it above. I think they're very equal, like, visually. But I think Omega Interface has better ideas. Oh my god, can I just... There we go, thank you. Auroral Darkness goes there. The Yandere, then Omega Interface, then a Renovant, then Chroma 2. I think that's the last one. So we go the Yandere, Omega Interface, Renovant, Chroma 2. I think that's how I would like to do it. I think Renovant is good. I think Chroma 2 is very good for what it's worth. I like Chroma 2 a lot. I feel like now is going to be much harder to place things because now we're getting into the levels that are like actually good. I think Endless Dream probably goes next because Endless Dream is good, but it's also not like the highest of high tier. I think Endless Dream probably next. Probably Adrenaline is next. I think Adrenaline is very solid for what it's worth. I think Adrenaline is a good high tier level. It's just kind of boring, kind of long, but it's a good song. It's decent overall. It's a little bit generic with the glow design, but I think what it does is decent. I think Adrenaline can go next. I don't think it's top 30, but I definitely don't think it's bad. I think Adrenaline goes as long of a level that it is, which makes it automatically way more boring. It's good. I think Adrenaline is solid, but I think Surge of the Shield probably goes first. Surge of the Shield has very good moments, but it also has some really bad moments. So I think it like evens out. Surge of the Shield is great. Overall, though. Aronia first and Cadriga. I think Cadriga City and Aronia are probably the next ones we're gonna place, yeah. You guys, which one do you prefer? Cadriga City or Aronia? Which one do you think is better? Seeing mostly Aronia, so we're gonna go Cadriga City. Now we're into the top 30. I think Aronia is top 30, but I don't think it's top 25. Does that make sense to you guys? Because Aronia has some, like, boring parts. I feel like the most memorable part of Aronia is definitely the gameplay. I see a lot of PPFs next, so we're gonna do Plasma Pulse Finale next. Like, I see mostly PPFs. So we're gonna take PPF. We're gonna do that. I think Cold Sweat goes next for me personally. I'm gonna take the executive decision on that one. And then after that, I've seen a lot of people say Omicron. So we can do Omicron next. After this, though, I think Cybernetic and Eternal Moment go back to back. I think they're pretty equal overall. I think as for Cybernetic Crescent, I recognize the fact that stuff like Rustdown's part is pretty bad. I think Terron's part is not that good. And I also think that Sammy's part isn't that well aged, but at the same time I also think that stuff like Galvatron's part is fucking amazing. Okay, so chat, choose Cybernetic or Eternal Moment. I'm seeing mostly Eternal better. Cybernetic Crescent, then into the top 25, Eternal Moment. Oops, that's not how you spell moment. There we go. Occult probably goes next. As much as I love Occult Outcry, I think it's reasonable to put it there. I think as a remake, Occult Outcry is probably the best one on the list. Not that that says a lot, but you know. Shock Therapy, then WoW, then Timor. That's what I would do in this case. I think WoW is really good personally. I really like WoW. Plus it's one of the more unique levels on the list as well. It's very unique in that sense. I think Shock Therapy, WoW, then Timor. I think Timor just barely falls out of the top 20 personally. Timor is really good though. Molten Core is really sick. I think Molten Core is a really good level overall. Definitely the best 9 circles by like a long shot. Personally, I would probably say Lucid Chaos goes next. As much as I like the level, I do think it lacks a little bit of cohesion, but overall is a good level. Oh yeah, Yada should definitely go within this range, I think. Lucid Chaos goes next. I think Lucid Chaos is a fantastic level. It's a really, really solid level. Same with Ethereal Artifice. I think Ethereal Artifice is very good. It's just not a level for me. I think Ethereal Artifice is probably 18 for me, even though I know a lot of people really like it. Artificial Ascent goes 17 for me. I think that's how we do it. And then Congregation, I think that's reasonable. I really like both of them. Don't get me wrong. I think both of them are fantastic. And then Bias Society, Yata-Garasu is probably next. Yada is a fantastic level. I think Yata-Garasu is amazing. Why is Greg? So Greg is a fantastic level. I really like Congregation. It's really good. Yata-Garasu is good, but is it that good though? I think Bloodlust is better, but I think Bloodlust is just a little bit better. Bloodlust goes there. There's a lot of me being put into this, but that's like the most reasonable. Okay, so now I have to come back to reality here. I think Anahita is very solid. I think Anahita should go top 10, honestly. I really like it. I think Anahita is probably gonna be top 10. I'm gonna be real here. I've been holding on this for too long. As much as I love a Sari Never Clear, I cannot justify it being top 10, bro. I cannot justify it being top 10, even though I love this level. I love it for every wrong reason ever. For me personally, I think the next one would probably be Spectrum Cyclone, but I know a lot of people really like Spectrum. Bro, Berserk is such a good level. I don't know why people don't think Berserk is a top 10 extreme. Frozen Cave is a level that I've grown to like a lot, and I don't really know why. Like, this is just a level that I like. I don't know why. I initially really disliked this level, but there's just something about the gameplay in this that I just really get intrigued by. And I really like the song for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just like this level for some reason. Can I justify this being top 10 though? I don't know. I've heard really good things about this level though. I like this level a lot. I think it's good. I didn't initially like this level a lot. Like when I initially saw Frozen Cave, I did not like this level like whatsoever. Now though, I kind of really do like it. That ship part with the trigger orbs or the trigger orbs are really good. Spectrum, Anahita, or Frozen Cave. Those are like the next 3 in line for me personally. Putting Spectrum Cyclone 11. What about 10? Which one should open the top 10? Frozen Cave or Anahita? 10 is Anahita. Frozen, Anahita, Anahita, Frozen. I'm seeing mostly Anahita for this one. And then, oh, oops. Frozen Cave for number 9. Now we're getting into the territory where all of these are like my babies. I've beaten every single one of these except for Oro. Okay, I haven't beaten Oro, and I have not beaten... Yeah, I've beaten all of them except for Oro. Lol. I think for me, myself, if I'm gonna be very, very me-centric here, I think Speedrun should go next. Speedrun is a masterpiece, but I think the entire top 10 is like really fucking good all across the board. I think I'm gonna do Speedrun like so. Because Speedrun does have questionable balancing, I would say. Next for me would probably be Black Blizzard or Oro. You guys think Black Blizzard is worse than Oro? I'm saying mostly Black Blizzard, yeah. Black Blizzard. And then Oro next. A lot of this is me-centric. I've beaten all of these levels, so obviously this is very biased. This is, after all, like, my list with some chat from you guys. Like, not everything is just me-centric, because otherwise stuff like Cognition, OPS, and 1 would be way lower, right? Honestly, You guys are gonna think this is blasphemous. You guys are gonna think I'm fucking, you guys are gonna think that I'm spewing blasphemy out my ass. You guys are gonna want to burn me at the cross for saying this. I think Sunset Sandstorm is gonna be next. Because Rash has really grown on me, and I really like Berserk. I think they just pull off what they want really hard, and they do exactly what they want. I think Berserk and Rash are probably better than Sunset. I love Sunset Sandstorm gameplay-wise, but if we're including, like, visuals and how they pull off the visuals, Rash and Berserk are just so good, dude. Rash and Berserk are just so good. Rash is, like, thematically one of the absolute greatest demons we've gotten in a really long time. Sunset visuals are fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I think the visuals in Sunset Sandstorm are really good. I just think that because of how old it is, it's just not as optimal as it could have been. There are certain parts in Sunset Sandstorm that are just a little bit too empty compared to these levels. Berserk is the greatest level Xylonox ever made, and Xylonox is a very, very good themed creator, and Rash is just so good. No, I genuinely did like Rash. I said after I beat Rash that I was disappointed that I beat it so quickly because I wanted to play it. I think Rash is one of the most fun list demons that we have had, like, in the past few years, and genuinely think it's just a fantastic level. Plus, just the color use in this part specifically is just so phenomenal. I think Rash is just a great example of it does exactly what it wants to, and it does it so well. If you think Rash looks 1.9, you do not know what a 1.9 level looks like. I think realistically for me, I would probably go like so, then go that, and then Berserk, and then I don't think you guys even have to like discuss. I don't think anyone has to like ask questions what my top 2 is gonna be, because Nelb is my favorite level in the game. Killbot was my second favorite level for the longest time. That wasn't even like a question to begin with. I think Sunset Sandstorm not being top 3 is like the biggest curveball I've done in a while though, because I've always really liked Sunset. I've always praised Sunset like crazy, but Berserk is just such a good level. Anyway, I think I'm happy with that. Yeah. I could probably go around and like move some of the things around, because some of the things I feel like it just don't make too much sense. Like I would probably, for personal reasons, move Rage up, or Valseretta down, or stuff like Arctic Lights, which I'm personally not a huge fan of. I just recognize as a good level. I would probably move down. But I think overall, I think it is a good list. People are going to be so disappointed in a lot of them. A lot of people are going to be like, no, I don't agree with that, Aeon. You are bad. But I think this is overall pretty decent. I might go over this like with time and just like tweak it and make it like a more my list. But overall, I think this is pretty decent.